God, that's too many.
It's something that really sticks in your mind. That is just, you just go, did that really happen?
Yeah. Probably 2015, I had another major suicide attempt and ended up in ICU for 3 days. And as I was coming to, I could feel that my legs and my arms were really heavy. And I had a lot of drains coming out of me, like drips and drains. And I was like pulling at them all because I had no idea what was really going on. And I was half in, half out sort of thing. And I just remember that my legs and my arms were so heavy, and I thought I'd actually, because of the attempt, I'd lost the feeling of them. And I hadn't really, because they had tied my hands and my feet to the side of the rails. I was restrained by both ankles and both feet. And when I woke up, I had blisters and scratches on my arms and my ankles.
Who's on the couch tonight to talk about her health situation. Jo's been on dialysis for nearly 30 years. Fluid intake.
Yes, yes.
So how many mils or...
500 mils a day.
Which is about
2 cups of tea.
2 cups of tea your intake is?
The whole day. And that's excluding fruit. There's fluid in fruit.
Yeah.
There's fluid in ice cream. There's fluid in custard. Fluid in yogurt. Yeah. So you have to kind of mentally... That was probably one of the hardest things that I had to covers on.
I think they make them a pretty colour or something.
Yeah. This is actually a piece of... it's called a graft, and it's like a piece of pipe, this bit here.
So they put the pipe in...
They join it there, and they put it just under the top of the skin, and then it joins to my vessel, which is here. And, so you use that, because I've had 26 fistulas on this arm, and so that's all used up.
A topic that I guess a lot of us have heard about, experienced it ourselves, and family and domestic violence. And I have with me Shireen Smith tonight, who's brave enough to tell her story and share with us, some of the heartache that she's experienced, and also some of the positives as an end result. So, Shireen.
Kellie.
We are. We're good friends.
We are good friends.
We all know what we're going to talk about. It's as raw as that, and that's what it's all about. It's no use beating around the bush, because this is why we're here, in the hope that perhaps someone that is sitting there now looking at their computer or looking at their phone or their iPad, that they actually relate to this situation themselves, and perhaps that they've done nothing about it. It could be a number of reasons. It could be fear, and I too have been through it myself, so I do know exactly how those sort of feelings vary and what happens to you, and everyone reacts differently to certain situations. And this is not about putting a cure out there or having the eternal answer for you. It's just about a few coping skills and maybe some self-care, as Shireen was saying, like with her little Ted here.
Rainbow Ruby.
So tonight I have with me Melinda, and you would have noticed that we've actually tagged it Bring Sarah Home. Now Sarah is Melinda's granddaughter, and tonight we're going to talk about Sarah, who has a disability. And forgive me because I'm not up to date on the actual name of things in that regard. So you're the expert because you work with special needs. So just give us a little rundown of when Sarah was born. I know we've talked about this a couple of minutes ago, but little Sarah when she was born. So what happened to her?
All right. So Sarah is now 14 and a half. She was born at 23 weeks, just on, and she weighed 520 grams born. So she spent the first 9 months in NICU, in neonatal intensive care at the John Hunter, and spent 2 years on oxygen. She flatlined I have no idea how many times. Many times, especially if she was turned on her right-hand side, she would have difficulty and would then end up on life support. So she suffered from enormous amounts of oxygen deprivation, and also because of her prematurity, her extreme prematurity. Like normally at 23 weeks is when your frontal lobes start to develop, when it's still inside your mum. So your frontal lobes is where you get all your sensory perception, things along those lines. So Sarah has severe autism. She is intellectually severe. She tests at about 3 years of age, if that. She's seen as being non-verbal, although she is verbal to some extent. She can certainly tell you exactly what she wants when she wants it. A lot of her things is echolalia, which is echoing, just repeating things, so she learns phrases. Most of her stuff she's learnt off SpongeBob. I noticed that.
Very good.
So that's the book Kaleidoscope. Now tonight I'm going to ask all my viewers to actually put in this word kaleidoscope in the comments, because what we're going to do at the end of the show is we're going to draw a winner to have a copy of this book. So Marcella, what does DID stand for?
Okay, my name is Marcela del Sol. I'm a writer and a social activist, just like Kellie said. Lovely Kellie. I live with dissociative identity disorder, DID, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. That's a very big mistake because we don't actually have multiple personalities, but we have one that fragments when facing some type of extreme adversity. It's a defense mechanism. So what happens is, to put it very plainly or simply, it's like driving a car. You drive a car and see a sign that triggers some type of alert in your mind, and you shed one of your personas, and then another one comes out and continues driving the car safely. So it is a disorder. It's not an illness. You can't really measure it by blood or urine or anything like that. It's a cognitive disorder. And this derives from trauma that I have experienced in my life, extensive trauma. And that's really what DID is. I hope.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show On the Couch with Kellie live, and tonight we have Laurie Grosvenor. And we've just been sitting here having a few little giggles, but the serious part of life is that Laurie is without sight and in a wheelchair, and a fancy one too, I might say. So I guess I've been talking to Laurie in regards to, about being positive in this situation. Now, how old are you, Laurie?
I'm 78 years old.
78, and she looks fantastic. And I'm just looking at your gown and everything you've got on tonight. And one question I want to ask, how do you know what to wear? Is that right?
That's right, at Hamilton.
At Hamilton, yeah. And what year we're talking?
1960.
1960. And can I ask how old were you then?
I was 13 in that May of that year, or in the May of that year.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it's obviously...
calendar year, when I first went to the Marsh Brothers at Hamilton, and our class master, Francis Cable, or known as Brother Romuald, was the perpetrator, and I was abused in the classroom. He used to call me out and abuse me, and of course,
Okay, we know that there'd be people out there watching this program that have gone through similar situations, and perhaps they've hidden it from their families, their loved ones, professional people. They might be masking it with other things. And I think the important thing here is, like, just to plead with these people, tell someone, discuss it with someone, go and get help, go to a professional. There are lots of organisations out there. I mean, even a call to Lifeline would be a good thing to start, had they not done anything to this day.
Absolutely.
You know, a call to Lifeline, talk to someone about it, ask a professional about what to do next, and report people. Because the thing is, while ever we're allowing these people to get away with it, there becomes a progression of other victims.
Absolutely.
They will just keep doing it, and the lineup of victims will just grow and grow and grow unless you... Tonight, Rhonda White. Now, I think it's quite incredible about a little conversation that we had when I first got here. How you thought that, you know, is this the type of thing that needs to be in the show? Like, you know, I've only had a loss or several losses in my life, and, you know, to me, I went, wow, this is the sort of thing we've got to tell other people and get the message out there. You know, you've gone through such an incredible thing in your whole life with how many people? 5 people passed, and very close people.
In less than 6 years.
In less than 6 years. So can you tell me the order of loss?
Yeah, I lost my father-in-law at the end of 2011, my dad in the beginning of 2013, my mother-in-law in the beginning of 2014, my husband in August of 2015, and my mum in August of this year.
2 transplants, and as recent as 3 weeks ago you were given the all clear with cancer. So we need to have that journey to this day to happen.
I was 33 when I got the call to say that was about midnight, to say that there were organs waiting for me. And that was... It was one side of me I was quite excited about, thinking, yay, I'm going to be well. The other side was that somebody had died, and while I'm happy, my family and friends are happy for me.
Lost the sight in that eye?
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, I was all right though.
Yeah, but you've got a good positive attitude. That's what I love about you, Jane.
Oh, but I think from basically having my head down a toilet constantly to... From the day I woke up from the operation, I never vomited. So that for me was everything. The eyesight thing, I thought, oh, you know, I'm still alive.
And you've got the hairstyle for it anyway. You know, TV, we're hoping. We're living for that. So I said in my teaser this week that you have lived through 2 transplants.
No, most people have never heard of this pairing program.
It's fascinating.
It really is. Well, when the kidney failed after the 18 and a half years, my brother, he went and had all the tests to see if he could be a donor, because he was quite a good match. But interestingly enough, they found an aneurysm in his spleen. And they said, you've got to go and buy a lottery ticket, because that's virtually saved your life.
This hell every day, you know, it's okay to do something about it. You do not have to be in this position. You know, have a listen to the story, and, you know, hopefully it'll prompt someone to go and get a little bit of help. How old were you? How many children did you have? Like,
I was in 2 violent relationships. So my older children, I was with their father for a while and left that relationship. I then entered another relationship, one just previously, which was domestic violence for 15 years. Basically just started off with the controlling, then it got into the abuse side. Alcohol was involved on his behalf, and before you knew it, I was fully involved in it.
Wrong, or was it easier to stay because you had children, or?
And you start to believe that you're not worthy. You start to believe the things that they say. In my case, it's only started off gradually, then it got intense, where it became involved with my older children who got hurt by this man.
And healthy
my greatest issue was the stress that I was under. So that, I believe, is one of the major factors for me in this journey of breast cancer.
So you were nice and healthy, looking after yourself.
Very fit.
Very fit and very healthy. So then you found the lump, you've gone to, where did you go to from there?
I found the lump and I thought, well, I'll just wait and see. So 3 weeks later it was still there. I thought, well, I better have it checked. And I did. Immediately the doctor sent me for a mammogram and an ultrasound. And then I had to have a biopsy and they found cancer in that lymph node. They straight away knew it was cancer in the breast. It was very small at that point, and even when they took it out, it was still quite small, but it was stage 3 aggressive. So it was stage 3 aggressive.
Okay, so that's what I'm doing tonight is about, if ever you've believed in someone, you know, like if there's someone there that's working for you and you totally believe in that person, or you know they've had a bit of a rough time or whatever, why not go and do something really nice for them, you know, just to say thank you. I mean, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be known for doing it, just do something, a nice little something for them. Anyway, and you'll feel like doing it after you hear this story, I'm sure. So,
it was so hard, and I had nothing at the end of it. Like your pay packet would come in, and as soon as it comes in, it's gone again, and you're in debit, and it's just like, how long can I sustain this kind of behaviour until something gives? And that something was me. Like, choosing not to address those small little issues had compounded and became so huge that I didn't want to address them. I didn't want to be here, although I love my children. And then my anger, it was just too much. It was too much on my own. And I sat outside one day and was like, right, that's it. I don't want to be worth it. To somebody, you might be the whole world. And if you can find that one little piece of yourself to hold on to, do it. And one day you might be able to be the person that, you know, is that life raft for somebody else. You know, pay it forward.
Tonight I'm here with Brenda Hamming, and we're going to be talking to Brenda about her situation and getting through bowel cancer.
That's the little red...
Right, the little penis thing.
Penis,
yeah.
Yes.
Stoma.
Stoma. I call it stomy. It has a name.
Oh, okay.
Most colostomies have everybody gives them a name. I just call it stomy.
Yeah.
Hospital. I couldn't even accept it. Could not accept this hideous thing poking out of my stomach and a bag hanging down. It was just, I felt unsexy. I felt...
Were you in a relationship then?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just felt, I don't know, it's just awful, this thing hanging down, and it just changed my whole life. I think, no, I don't feel sexy, I feel yuck. I've got this poop bag that hangs down.
It's got a bit of volume, right?
It reminds me of my mother when she used to walk, you know. When you get old, they pass the wind. That's what it reminds me of when you walk, you know.
So have you ever had anyone, ever had anyone say anything to you that was upsetting about it? Like if you're out and then, you know, it decides to let the wind go, so
well,
to
I
speak.
think everybody's too probably gobsmacked and they just look at you. You know, what can they say? They can't say, did you fart?
Yeah, and they wouldn't know your situation.
They wouldn't.
Like, you know.
But I know my grandson thinks it's wonderful. They wish they had one. To be able to do it and get away with it. But yes, it does have its embarrassing moments, yes.
Oh dear.
And going to the loo, when your bag is full, you need to go now, not in 5 minutes, because I've had a couple of mishaps, not now because I've mastered it, but you do have mishaps where the bag can actually, the seal
burst.
around your bag can burst and you end up in a horrible mess.